Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of my live tea tasting. Sorry for the slight delay, but I'm here now and I've got a great new flavor to present to you guys today. So where I put it, here it is. So, in keeping up with this month's theme, I've got another tea that came directly from Taiwan. This one is called Dong Ding. Sneha, welcome. It's technically called Super Dong Ding, but this is going to be a really great experience. I was intrigued by the name. You know what? Let me go ahead and start the water, and now I can start talking about it. So I was intrigued by the name, so I had to look into it, and I found some really interesting facts. This Super Dong Ding, technically known as Dong Ding, is an oolong tea, and it's grown in the the Dong Ding mountain range. It's also spelled Tung Ting. So it's got a couple. Oh, sorry, no, it's Taiwan. Sorry, I didn't mean it. It comes from. Hey Ma, welcome. It comes from the mountains of Taiwan, and Tongting actually translates to icy peak or frozen summit. So it's grown in a very harsh climate, and that actually produces better tasting tea usually when it's done right. Oh, hold on, there we go. I was having a little problem opening this thing. Ah, it's still stuck. There we go. Hey, Teresa, welcome. Nicole, welcome. I see you popped in. Thank you for joining us. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open this while I talk a little bit more about the tea itself. So it's grown in the Wuyi. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Wuyi Mountains in the Fujian province of China, and it's grown. Let me get the actual number. It's grown at an elevation of. Oh, I know. I just had it. Right now, I have a couple of. There we go. Oh no, that's not it. 1650 to 2600 feet in the air. So it is way up there, and that's going to produce harsher climates. The air is going to be a lot thinner, a lot colder. There's going to be less rain, which produces a more rocky terrain. 1650 meters, that is absolutely correct. Zach, welcome. Oh, yeah, I was not expecting that. Sorry, it's like I thought that it was going to be a lot easier to just open, but apparently not. So it's about 5,000 feet, 1,600 meters. No, it's a range from 16 to 2,600 feet. That's 500 to 800 meters. You got that a little bit mixed around, but that's okay because I've got the web page open, so I have it like all in front of me. Because this is like a lot of stuff to remember. So yeah, I'm cheating a little bit. But anyway, it's made in the Taiwan region, and because of the terrain, you're going to get a harder grown tea, which usually comes up to be a better flavor. Now the thing about it is it doesn't really pay to grow tea up in the mountains unless it comes out really good. So you have to know what you're doing to get this kind of a flavor. Up, and my water just popped. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour some of this out. Now, since this is an oolong, I don't need to do a whole lot because it's going to expand quite a bit. So I'm going to show you guys right now all the tea that I'm using. You guys know how much I usually put in because I like it strong. But yeah, check this out. There is not a whole lot in there this time around. Let me show a better picture of it so you can see. Yeah, you can actually see at the bottom I'm not using a whole lot. And that's because the tea itself grows so much. All of this is going to expand to about 3 or 4 times this size. So I'll show you guys what it looks like after. You know, that's one of my favorite things to do, especially when it comes to, oops, I set that wrong. Wally, welcome. All right, so without further ado, I'll go ahead and pour this out. I'm doing this at a very awkward angle. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Now I'm going to set the timer around mid-range. Alexa, set a timer for 3.5 minutes.
Timer for how long?
3.5 minutes.
3 minutes and 30 seconds. Starting now.
Thank you. So,
of course. Have a good night.
You too. Alexa is on point today. Anyway, I forgot what oh yeah. So I'm setting it, right now it's brewing at 195 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about midway. Usually you're supposed to do it around 180. But this one, because, okay, let me backtrack a little bit. Oolong is oxidized between 15 and 30% generally, so you're not going. It's going to be a little bit stronger than a green tea, but not as strong as a black tea. So you want to catch a nice middle ground. Usually they say you can do it about maybe 180 degrees for 5 minutes, or you can do the full 212 at 3 minutes, 2 minutes, something like that. But the way that it's packed, you saw how before how it was rolled into a ball, everything was tight and compact. So it's going to take quite a bit to actually get it to open up and release the flavor. Because that's the case, you can usually steep an oolong, a good oolong, about 3 or 4 times, depending on the depending on the temperature of the water. So I am doing this about midway. I only plan to steep it once. Once I have my tea, I'll drink it that way. I don't plan to steep it again, although I'll probably have the option to do so. In which case, you know, I mean, you can, if you do it, if you know what you're doing, you can get about 5 cups out of it easy. Let me, dagnabbit, I hit the wrong button. Okay, oops. Yeah, this is not working. I had to move the the phone to see my next fact. Okay, so let me see. This was actually also a tea that was featured in the New Harvest for tasting and teaching the basics of Gung Fu Cha tea, of the Gung Fu Cha. I can't talk. Of the Gung Fu Cha tea ceremony. There, 3rd time's the charm, baby. Anyway, so this was actually a monumental kind of tea that produces its own ceremony, and it has its own specific. Oh, hold on, I have to open up the the window. It's kind of hot tonight. Anyway, so it's made an impact on the tea community, or well, on the tea culture, I should say. And like the government has helped to contribute and promote it. Like this is a very, very popular tea in China. Alexa, stop. Okay, so the water is now ready. Well, the tea is now ready. I'll go ahead and pull it out. Oh, wow, that is beautiful. I'm going to show you what I see in just a moment. But first, I'm going to go ahead and pour some of this out because whew, it smells incredible. All right, there we go. Oh wow, this is a very, very light color. I was not expecting it. Usually it's more yellow. There we go. I was not expecting it. It's actually, well, it's hard to tell behind the light. Let me see if I can get a better shot. Because if I turn it around, there we go. Oh wow, that looks really golden actually. Like literally golden. I'm getting, it looks like it's sparkling, and I know that's just probably an effect of the glass and the oxidation and the tea dust inside it, but it kind of looks like it shimmers. And that makes it for a really beautiful looking tea. That is gorgeous right there. Like, I don't even want to drink it because it looks that good. I mean, of course I will, because, you know, I'm a heathen. But, yeah, like, wow is the right word. This is a beautiful golden, literally golden tea. Yes, I am absolutely sure it's tea because I steeped it. And, you know, this time I got the right leaf. I'll show you how it's opened. Remember that little ball you had? Look at what it turned into. And this isn't even fully developed. You had the entire leaf. Look at that. And it can still be done at one more steep. So I didn't even get the whole flavor first time around. So this looks like it's going to be a very good quality leaf. Oh, and it smells really nice. It's got a very smooth, very, very slight vegetal. Yeah, the stem is still attached. You're not always going to find a... is it very typical of an oolong? I mean, it's typical of tea. When you pick the tea, you want to get the bud. I've shown you guys before the three leaf. So you're gonna have the short one, the tall one, and then the one that's tucked in the middle like a little nubbin. So that's what you want to look for when you pick a tea at the right time. And of course, you're going to get some of the stem with it. It looks like whoever picked this one just plucked it from the bottom. Actually, no, it looks like this was actually picked by a machine. Interesting. Okay. Usually, tea is picked by hand with a plucking motion, but I just noticed something. If you guys, I don't know if you guys can see this very well. It looks like I'm trying to, yeah, you can, I'm sure you can see it. It's a straight edge like it was cut in the diagonal. Normally when you pluck it, it's going to be round because of the way that it's separated from the stem. So the outside is going to rip first, and then little by little it's going to rip towards the center until it separates. This was done by machine because it was just cut right through. So you could probably see that in there. I've never noticed that before in a leaf. But I mean, this is a brand that I don't know the name of. It's just Fuking Tong. I know what you guys are thinking, you dirty minds. Fuking Tong. But yeah, that's what seems to be the name of the brand. So it looks like this is picked by, or rather harvested by machine. Good to know. Okay, so without further ado, because I am dying to taste this. Here we go. Oh, nice. Oh, that is really nice. It's got a very interesting flavor. It's kind of like how it tastes like how it looks. A little bit. It's a little bit like how you would imagine gold would taste. You know, it's not very metallic, but more like soft, creamy. How do I put this? It's a little bit. It's slightly coppery, but in a good way. You know, it's a very light flavor. Hold on, let me see if I can find a better term for this. It's got a certain soft quality to it. It's very flavorful. It's got a full body of flavor surrounding it, but there's a kind of soft coolness about the texture. And I mean, it's really nice. Linda, welcome. I have a like there's a slight mouthfeel, like a texture to it that's really interesting. Like you can feel it across your tongue. Like you guys have seen the dust that was circling in the center. That adds to the texture, and that texture is pretty full bodied, and it's got like a sweet, creamy kind of taste to it, like a cool metallic kind of taste, but in a good way, because it's not the typical metal. It's like you're drinking out of a Moscow Mule. You know how you have that kind of coppery aftertaste that adds to the flavor behind it. It's got that kind of a quality. It tastes like it's got the regular oolong flavor to it that you would expect, but the chaser is that kind of metallic coolness, and it actually tastes kind of golden. I don't know. That's just how I imagine gold to taste. Now this tastes like the kind of thing that I would definitely try cold. I would ice this down. It doesn't even need to be. It doesn't need to be sweetened at all. This is a really good tea. I was talking about a certain kind of flavoring that that milk oolong sometimes has, and how you can tell it's fake. I was talking to Snea about it just a little while ago, and this tea has that kind of creamy, buttery quality that's natural. You know, there wasn't anything added to it because it's not overpowering. Like the smell smells like oolong, but the taste behind it has a slight vegetal, slight. It's a very calming tea. It tastes very natural, very nice. I would try steeping this again, at an even lower temperature this time. I would probably steep it as like a green or a white, maybe around. Let me see. This was what, 195. I would probably do it about 180, and maybe for about 2 minutes. That would probably give it a good between 2 or 3 minutes. That would probably do it. What was this? Can you go back to the effect of the altitude on tea? Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, so elevation. I got that open as well. Okay, so at high altitudes, you get colder temperatures, and that acts as a natural deterrent when it comes to like insects. So pesticides aren't really needed. Let me see. It reduces and because of this, that bitter astringency is a kind of self-defense mechanism when it comes to tea plants, so that any insects that would want to taste it, want to eat it, would be turned off by the flavor. Since there are no insects up there, or they're very, very limited, you're not going to get that astringency because it's not needed. So you're gonna find teas that are very soft and soothing, and very, very smooth, which is really, it's a huge quality when it comes to a tea, because you don't want to have that bitter aftertaste. It's always going to be a threat when you oversteep a tea, especially with a green tea. You'll have it taste like soap, and that's not something that you want to work with. So, because of all these qualities that that the oolong has, they tend to be a little bit more on the expensive side, only because they're really hard to cultivate in that kind of environment, but B, in the end, it's super worth it because the tea itself tastes incredible. You have a smooth flavor. You have less of a risk of astringency, although you can oversteep it, because that is part of the plant's natural chemistry. It's just not going to be as prevalent because it's not needed. Okay, so let me look at a couple more notes because there was so much to go through. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I was just talking about the texture and the, yeah, I covered all those bases. But yeah, so when you brew it strong, and it can take it. You get the flavor. You get a nice flavor out of it. What other types of tea can you grow on high altitudes? I mean, technically you can grow any tea at a high altitude. The only problem is, when it comes down, the issue you'll face is what you do with it. If you have a Girokuro, if you grow that at a high altitude, under minimal sun exposure, and you grow it successfully, that is of the highest quality. You can make it into a matcha. And I think I've mentioned that there are 5 stages of matcha, and the 5th stage, I believe, is Jaku, if I'm not mistaken. I looked it up. I forgot everything because, old man brain. But Jaku is the highest quality. I'll have to look that up, so don't quote me directly. But Jaku is the highest, Ralph, welcome, quality matcha out there, and that's because it's grown from the most extreme of circumstances. It is purposefully left out to grow in harsh conditions, where it can eventually be plucked. So you'll have a low amount of light that hits it, so it produces more chlorophyll, which adds to the flavor. You'll have the same what is it called? The same conditions that you grow this tea in. So you'll have like a stronger flavor, smoother flavor, especially. You'll have you'll have a higher quality Jaku when you leave it in those conditions growing longer. So the longer you have it in those conditions, the tastier it gets. The only problem is that the longer you have it in there, the harder it is to maintain. So you can have teas that grow in under those conditions, and if it's not carefully taken care of, you can lose the whole crop like nothing. And it's really hard to keep that sort of a watchful eye. But if you know what you're doing, it's worth it. Oh, that is so good. Okay, whew. I'm a little bit hot tonight. Chicago's experiencing a slight heat wave during the winter. And by heat wave, I mean it's been 50 degrees for the past couple days. So, I'm feeling a little bit of that now. But anyway, okay, so I'm going to open up the floor. Questions, comments, anything you want to talk about. Now is the time. I'm going to show you guys another example of the leaf. Whoops, here you go. So you remember I was talking to you just now about the 3-leaf thing? It's going to look somewhat like this. You got the two highs. Here you go. And they didn't quite get the middle one, so these are aged leaves. I'm looking for the third one. It's going to be like you see right at the bottom. I don't know if you got, there it is. It's kind of like at the bottom there's a third oh no, wait, never mind. I thought that was where the third leaf was, but no. I was fooled. This one only has 2 leaves. So whoever picked it did it slightly too late. But that's okay. I mean, this was picked later in the season, so it's probably just the fact that there was no bud to pick from. It's once it's an older, mature leaf, you get the. Do you by any chance know the oxidation of this tea? Not the exact oxidation, because everything is going to be it's going to be different. It's an oolong, like I said before, is between 15 and 30% oxidized. So you're going to get that range, but there's no specific way to tell how much oxidation you've had, unless you're actually there, Teresa says, if you had to pick a team of teas to eradicate a deadly yeast fungus taking over the world and killing people in 2 weeks, which ones would you pick? Well, I would have to go with black teas, starting with the Assams and the Ceylons, because those are pretty strong tasting teas. So I would imagine that they'd be our saviors. Followed up by the oolongs, who are the smart ones. They'll be the ones who strategize, and they'll be the ones who come up with a plan to save the world. The green teas, I would imagine, would be the ones who are coming to the rescue and saving people who have been injured in battle. Yeah, leave it to Teresa to start this, but leave it to me to finish it. So I would say the green teas would come to the rescue and help everybody who's out there. The white teas are the young, optimistic ones that keep cheering on everybody and encouraging them to keep going, to stay strong, and to fight the evil yeast. And the yellow teas, I would imagine, would be the ones that run away because they're yellow. Like, yeah, no, I'm scared. No, anyway. Oh, I bet she did. And then the red teas are the ones who come for vengeance because they're angry. They're the angriest ones. And the purple teas are hiding because nobody knows where they are. Nobody knows how to find them. So I hope that answered your question. It answered my question. I had no idea where I was going with this, but yeah, that was an answer I didn't expect either. So anyway, my God, I don't know why. I don't know why I do this. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the process of Dongding tea, the way that it's oxidized. So it looks like what they do is they roll it, they pick it, they roll it, and they start to oxidize it. Sometimes they do it by toasting it over coal, and that's supposed to give a kind of a toasty, woody kind of flavor. Thank you. I aim to please. So this one, it doesn't really have a woody flavor. If it is, it's not very strong. It's very slight. But like I said, it's got more of a light flavor. So I'm thinking this was either sun dried or it was a light oxidation process was definitely done in that tea. It was either sun dried or it was maybe slightly baked in an oven, like set at a low temperature. So, I mean, it produces a really nice tea. I would like to think that it was a sun dried tea, because that's the kind of quality that this tastes like. Also, I forgot to mention that was this Teresa we usually call Mike a ding dong? So he's very familiar with this tea. That is true. That is true. And I just recently got familiar with it, so I passed the fact check. Yay! I'm glad that I'm legitimized. Chinese varieties of oolong give us a more darker and woody tasting cup, whereas Taiwanese varieties produce a lighter, more floral tasting brew. Yeah, absolutely. That's I guess that worked. But what I also forgot to mention is that there's another kind of oolong that you grow at a higher temperature, at a higher altitude, and that's a pao chong, or pao shang, or pushang. I don't know, there's so many different ways I've heard it pronounced. I don't know which one is correct, so I'm just throwing it out there. Yeah, I'll talk about the dessert in just a minute. I never forget your question. But I would say that the pushang is a very it's a similar flavor, but it's not rolled. So you get the full leaf right away. You can only usually steep it once, and you're good to go. I've never had a regular paoshang or pushang or however it's pronounced. I have got to look it up. But yeah, so like that's another oolong that's out there that's grown at a higher elevation. Oh wait, no, sorry, I have just. Let me see. Of course, the phone's gonna be in the way. Okay, so it actually looks like the tongue tea or tongue ting or the dongding is actually a variant of the paoshang. That's very interesting. I didn't know that. Because usually paoshang isn't rolled up like that is. So that threw me off a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, so for Teresa's dessert question, what would I pair this with? Something creamy and buttery. I would go with like maybe a tart, or something with a cream filling. Maybe a Boston cream donut or something. Like this is very it's a very light flavor, so I would definitely go with something good, something buttery. Crackers would go well with this. Um, Vanilla ice cream. Baked Alaska, possibly. I've never had baked Alaska, but it looks good. I would definitely give it a shot. Oh, something there. I don't know. I think. What is this? Mike, describe the flavor with something that I may be familiar with. Okay. Let me see. Hmm. It's a little bit toasty. I would go with like maybe toasted, like toast with butter, but a very lightly toasted bread. Like with it's still white but slightly crispy. I would go with that. So I think that's the closest I can get as far as a an accurate food description that's very relatable. Because it still has um, that slight vegetal and metallic flavor to it, but it's barely there, um, and it's got that vegetal aspect of it as well. So a lot of the flavor that I'm getting could be described as like butter. Because butter also has that slight, almost salty metallic flavor to it. So that would be close to what I'm getting here. Let me think. I can't think of any other foods that I could describe it as, but it tastes incredible. Like if this tea was able to, if I was able to find this tea here, I would definitely buy more of it. But it actually came from China. I believe it was probably directly from. Oh, it's from Hong Kong. So Hong Kong was the distributor, but the tea was originated in Taiwan. Oh man, but like for you oolong fans out there, this is not one that you want to miss because it's got a really smooth flavor. It's got a very warm, long taste to it. Um, it's got a slow burn, basically. Like I still taste it right now, and I don't want it to. I really don't want it to go anywhere. Like this is like encompass. I don't want to say encompassing my mouth. What's the word I'm looking for? Like it's coating my mouth, so the flavor is long lasting. Right now, I'm tasting it all over my tongue, and every time I speak, I lick the top of my mouth, and I can still taste it there too. So this is a tea that's going to stay with you for quite some time, and it's very calming. It's very relaxing, very smooth, very like I can spend an afternoon with this easy, and love every sip. Oh, ooh, that is so good. And I still have some left in here, so let me see if I can top myself off. A little bit more. Almost. No, never mind. I was playing chicken and I lost. Mm. And the good thing is, like, ooh, right there. Wow, that was good. I had just taken a nice big gulp, and like, it was so buttery, and it was so flavorful. Like that was a surprise. It cooled off, of course, so that's why I'm able to drink it and taste more of it. And if it continues to cool off in this fashion, then this is an excellent tea because It's not only is it maintaining that same high level of flavor, but it's also kind of like doubling down on it. Mm, yeah. It's very buttery and it's got a kind of milk oolong quality to it. Like almost to the point where it could be a good substitute. Because this tea is like really flavorful. It's cooling off and maintaining. I mean, I'm like really impressed by this. Oof. I'm gonna see if I can top myself off. What was that? Fun fact: the polyphenolic compound. I can't believe I got that right in the first try. Polyphenolic compound in the oolong tea is also responsible for the removal of free radicals in our body. Drinking oolong tea prevents our body from cancer, heart problems, cholesterol, and rheumatoid arthritis and neurodegeneration. Wow, that is a lot of good qualities. So yeah, drink this and you'll live forever. I guarantee it. Ding. No, I can't guarantee that. Fine print. Michael does not guarantee a thing. I need to come with my own fine print. Mm. Oh, it tastes incredible. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the floor. Questions, comments, anything you want to talk about, now's the time. It's a great time for it. In the meantime, I do have a couple of announcements. Earlier today, I went ahead and created the raffle. There is some stuff going on with the site still, and I'm sorry about that. It kind of sucks. But I do encourage you guys to try it. Just when you click on the link, then just click on the gray button, fill out the information, and you'll be entered in. And also just go ahead and comment on the thread if I don't get it from the Rafflecopter site. I'll just use the thread as well. And I'll enter everybody's name in a hat if I have to. But I mean, this is the kind of thing that I want to become regular again. So yeah, I mean, go ahead and enter it. I just popped it onto the community this morning. It should be still at the top somewhere. So all you guys watching tonight, this is going to be the notification. Go ahead and enter it, and I'll be announcing a winner on Monday. So it's just that simple. What else? What other trouble have I gotten myself into during the last week? I got another shout out from Tilula during the stream. They were talking about the what is it called, the tea festival again. So they're like, well, if you're still with us, Mike, I'm like, I'm still with you. So yep, it's getting. It looks like it's still getting planned. What else is there? We are having a New Year coming up next week. I hope you guys had a great a great Christmas or holiday season, whatever you celebrate. The New Year is coming, so I will be doing my last tea stream next week for a while, and then I'm going to take a break for a little bit. I've got some things to do, and once I get back, hopefully I'll have some really great news for you guys. In the meantime, I'll still be working on the community, still be doing my thing there. So yeah, you're not going to be missing much. I don't really have much announcements to go with. Oh, excuse me. Oh my god, this is so good. And it's maintaining the color too. Like, it's getting slightly dark, but not very much. So there's no degradation in the flavor. Even as it cools down, it's still maintaining very well. And that comes in very handy because if you're like me and easily distracted, you'll be drinking this and then leave it on the side for a while. You don't want it to be, you don't want it to get bitter or anything, which happens sometimes. There's no way around it. But this one maintains very well, so I would definitely recommend it. Hopefully I can find a website for this for you guys, because I would certainly love it if you guys could try it at home. Okay. Questions and comments? Anything you want to talk about? Now's the time. I am like, whew, I'm feeling good right now. This tea is really getting it. I don't have a whole lot left, but I wanna savor it just a little bit longer. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Like, I have to admit, oh, it's so good. And it's very unique, because a lot of oolongs, they taste close to what you'd expect, with minor differences. Do I feel the tea bag benefits from cream? I don't even know what that means. I mean, I know that you're trying to make it sound dirty, but I don't. I don't know. I do feel a benefit, and that is stuffed. This stuff has filled me, so I am good. And I am slightly tea drunk. I'm tea buzzed. So it's improved my mood, and I have gotten my daily dose of cancer and heart problems and cholesterol and rheumatoid arthritis and neurodegeneration prevention today, so we're good on that. Can you be more specific as far as the goal for the tea stream in 2020? I can, but not much. Honest question, best tea for a cough? I would say green tea with lemon and honey. That does wonders. If you have ginger, stick it in there. Anything with lemon, honey, and ginger would be great. Green tea is a plus. Matcha is good for the cold in general. So if you have a fever or something like that, that will help clean you out. But yeah, going back to Teresa's question, being more specific, I don't want to give away too much yet, because it's not just the stream that is going to get an improvement. It's going to be a lot of different aspects. So for right now, I'm going to keep it under wraps a little bit. I'll tell you guys more about it once it's set in motion. But I am looking into growth. I am looking into bigger things, and expanding this into a more extensive kind of environment. And I'll leave it at that, because I mean, giving away too much is. I want to save something for the suspense, Coffee is actually not good for you. As far as oh, you mean like I thought you were talking about the tea, the cough. No, I'm not expanding into coffee. No, not that I have anything against coffee. It's just not my realm of expertise. But yeah, this is going to head into some exciting territory. Uh, what else? Mm. Oh, it was so good. Okay, so last round. Questions, comments, anything you want to talk about? Now's the time, or forever hold your peace. I am running a little bit low on tea. I have a little bit left, so it'll just go down the hatch. Mm. Oh, I didn't quite finish it there. Whew. But I am like, I am pretty stuffed. Oh man, I'm satisfied tonight. This has been an incredible one. Best store-bought iced tea? I mean, technically they're all store-bought. If you're talking about supermarket stuff, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole, making it an iced tea, because all of that is just powdered and it's super low quality. Um, Either it's you said the yucky word, Lipton. No, Lipton. Lipton powder is just no. If you're gonna make iced tea, make it from this stuff. Make it from the actual leaf. If it looks like this, it's better for you. Or you can ice matcha, which is a powder, and it's super. It's easy to get in to mix with the water. You just need a really strong. You just need a really strong constitution to taste it. I prefer my matcha hot, cause yeah, iced matcha. Oh, excuse me. Not my thing. I couldn't do it. Oh, okay, looks like I have one sip left. So now's your last chance. Questions, comments, anything you want to talk about? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Oh, that was good. Whew, okay, thank you guys so much for joining me. Oh, Arizona Snapple, what's the best one? I have no idea. Arizona and Snapple and all of that. That's all the fake stuff. Like if I mean as a guilty pleasure, I would go with Snapple as a guilty pleasure. But I wouldn't recommend it as like a really great tea because you can make so much better from the leaf. Um, but yeah, I mean, like if you're gonna go for one of those, then definitely I would choose Snapple over Arizona. But that's just me. Okay, so anyway, thank you guys for joining me. It's been an incredible experience with you guys as usual. So, I guess yeah, because I've got nothing else. All right, so have a great night, a wonderful weekend, an incredible new year, and I will see you guys next year. Bye.